What's up, guys? Welcome back to Salt Lake City. I'm home and I have not made a vlog since Hawaii, which, by the way, thanks to those of you who watched my Hawaii vlogs, I still have one more to put up, and I'll put that up sometime this week. But if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Make daily vlogs, mostly about my lifestyle, which is geared around this type of stuff: hunting, fishing, shed hunting, etc. But guys, I have some good news. I'm actually moving. I think I said that in one of my Hawaii videos. But before I leave this place and the good old barnwood wall, I want to take you through a taxidermy tour. And I'm going to make it quick, and I'm going to edit this video and just throw it up today. But before I leave this place, I want to walk through it and show you guys everything I have in here, so when I move to the new spot, we can redo it and show you guys again where they all end up. So let's just go ahead and walk through and start on the barnwood wall. This thing has become famous on my platform anyways. Everyone knows it, and I still to this day get comments after comments. Please explain and go through your taxidermy and give us a story on it. Now, I can do a full detailed stuff, and I think some of them I have, so I'm not going to do that on this video. I'm literally just going to walk you through my entire house, my shed, and my little tarp garage, and show you guys my antler collection, my taxidermy stuff, and my deadheads. So let's do it. Right here, this is the barnwood wall. I am so bummed to leave this behind because I love it. I mean, I love the wood that we used, and I want to do something like this in my new place. But anyways, let's get to it. This whole top row of bucks are all deer that my brother Walker shot. He's my little brother, aka Walker Boss. You guys know him if you've seen the Hush videos. So he's shot this really cool spike by 4. This really big 3x4 with a rifle. That by far is my favorite mount. If anyone ever wants to comment on this walkthrough, which is your favorite buck as far as antler configuration, and then which is your favorite mount. That is my favorite mount. That was done by Monarch Mountain Taxidermy. Big muzzleloader buck he shot. That was a really cool one. And a nice rifle buck he shot. That was close to 170, like a high 160s buck. My Colorado buck, an Idaho buck, rifle, and this is my rifle Colorado buck as well. Really cool story to this one. This rack was killed about 45 years ago by my dad. Growing up, my dad would always tell me stories about this really nice 27-inch 4x5, but he never had the rack because he gifted it to a friend from out of state who came to hunt mule deer for the first time. Long story short, guys, he got in touch with the guy. This rack was hanging in his mechanic shop for years and years and years. After that, he had it on his shed, so I had to stain it. That's why it's kind of off color, and mounted it on a cape that came from Utah, and I gave it to him for Father's Day. So pretty cool. That's those 4 bucks, and we're gonna go through the furs. It's my very first badger. Called that in with Hidden Instinct. My very first gray fox from Arizona. I called that in. That was the first animal I called in on my own solo successful stand using an electronic call. First coyote I got on a stand, got that with Hidden Instinct. The first coyote I ever shot myself on a stand on a solo call, doing it myself. So definitely learned a lot from those guys. They have a YouTube channel, Hidden Instinct. Go check them out. They're doing their coyote tour right now. Moving on, this is a big, I should say big, it's big, but it was from a Missouri whitetail buck, a small buck, which I have the rack to, I think, outside. And man, it was a December cape. I thought it was cool. It was the first deer, wanted to remember it, so I tanned it. It's kind of been hanging there ever since. Let's get these out of the way. 2 of my Idaho rifle bucks. I know I've showed these in my recent vlogs. That's the newest one. This one was from a few years ago, both shot with a rifle on a general season over-the-counter unit, public land. I know people love to know all that kind of stuff. By the way, all of these were shot on public land. Not that it matters to me, but like I said, people like to know. So public, all top, general season tags, draw tag, general season, dad's general season, and a draw tag. Still considered general units, but had to draw out. All right, this is the only set of Fireball replicas that I had split image replicas make into shed antlers, wannabes. So those are exact replicas. They just kind of been hanging out in the house, and I made replicas just in case something ever happens to the originals. I have backups. And people always wanted to hold them and touch them at the expo, so I figured let's make some replicas. We took these, and the kids absolutely loved to get their photos with them. And people love to just hold that sucker up. It really puts into perspective just how big it is. So those are the sets. And this is my first elk ever. It was an archery bull. You can see it's a little raghorn, basically. I cut the skull, you know, off down the middle. I think it turned out pretty sweet. It sits on the wall nice and flat. Called this thing in, shot it with my bow, and it just happened to have 3 antlers on it. So I seem to shoot a good handful of freaks. I like the unique stuff. I was on a general season bow hunt here in Utah. Alright, here's the kitchen. This is the only deer I have in the kitchen. This is the Dirty 30 buck. Once again, another rifle Colorado buck. Really symmetrical 5x5. Well, he does have a little extra there, and no real eye guards, but some knobby bases there. So 31.5 or something. That was mounted by Monarch Mountain Taxidermy. So as you can see, everyone always says you need more wall space. So luckily for me, I am moving and I will have more wall space. So that's that for that corner of the house. We're going to show you this buck. I know there's a lot of hats on it right now. This was from years and years ago. You can see it was all chewed up. Big frame buck. Just got the skull white, mounted on a little plaque. It's basically a hat hanger now. So that's basically just there for, I don't know, decoration, I guess. Needed walls, had some wall space, so I filled it. This buck, my personal best scoring deer, and honestly, one of the prettiest deer by far I've ever taken. Rifle buck, Colorado. Really symmetrical frame. This was an old, beat up buck, and I know you can probably see it through the cape. I mean, he was scarred up. Just an old buck. Had a big old gash on one of his sides. When I got up to him after I shot him, he had been gored. Had a big hole in him, but all my taxidermy needs some cleanup. I have to clean him when I move, but that is my best buck. He's sitting right there. Texas Whitetails. This one's my father's. Shot it with a rifle. This is my archery Texas whitetail. Shot that with my bow. That's the only hunt where my father and I hunted together, and we both had a tag. So that was pretty cool. Got those mounted. They'll be moving with me. Alright, moving on to the TV shelf. My first Coues deer. Shot that with my rifle 2 seasons ago. This was sent to me. A set of Coues deer sheds. Love these things. They were gifted to me after I made a comment on YouTube. I was like, dude, sell me those. He's like, what's your address? I'll send them to me. So super thankful to have that. That's a big Coues deer buck. These are just a bunch of deer sheds that I have found over the years. Oh, there's so many. This one I did not find. Someone gifted me that. And whoa, easy now. But yeah, some of these, this was gifted from Levi in North Dakota. I thought that was a cool shed. And the rest I think were found by me. There's a brown set right here, this side and that side, that's a set. And then some other good sheds are in there as well. I started collecting antlers when I was like a teenager, maybe 12 or 13. Can't really remember exactly when it started, but from a young age and even up till currently, when people find out how fascinated I am with antlers and that I collect them, a lot of people just like to be nice and gift me one. So if I show up at camp and they can just see I'm interested in antlers, every now and then someone will be like, dude, you appreciate that more than me, like, take it. So in my collection I have a lot of pieces that are from other people that I value very high. I'll never sell those out. They'll never be sold, anything that was gifted to me. Moving on, we've got a pile of Axis sheds from Hawaii. Those are just kind of hanging out there till we move. And this is the office / gear room. Start this out with the black bear rug from Canada. It's the only one I've shot ever. Shot it with a bow. I really wanted a big, pure black one to represent the black bear. and I think I got exactly what I was looking for. Great coat, turned out really well. Bears, not so much a thing I want to hunt every single year. I would do it again. I would love to do a rifle hunt, spot and stock. Hunting over the bait was different. Again, never had done it. So we went out to Canada, did it, and it was a good time. There's no doubt about it. We would fish in the day. We would then cook our fish on shore and have shore lunch, and we'd get to go hunt bears at night. So again, it's just a good time, and if it gets you out there, if you guys enjoy it, do it. Again, I'm probably not going to shoot a bear every single year, but it won't be the last. Here we go. What do we got here in this corner? This is one of my Utah General Season rifle bucks, just European mounted. Not sure the year on that one. Ooh, this is a good one, guys, from Bone Tats. This is a Colorado buck I shot. He's got a cheater. He's got an inline. He had a cheater that's busted and an inline. A very symmetrical buck, a real pretty buck. I think it's the first one I ever took in Colorado. But let's see if we can get the lighting right and show you some of this detail that is carved into it. This was done by Jeff from Bone Tats. You can find him on Instagram and YouTube. Here's his little logo, Bone Tats, just like that. He made that pedestal, and moving into the new place, I'll have so much more space, and I'll definitely find somewhere that this can get a lot more love and attention. But a great buck. And an amazing sketch, guys. So much detail. It's got my last name. It says Hush. Some leaves with some color. It's one of my favorite pieces. Okay, there's a lot going on over in this corner, so we're just going to kind of walk you through it. You can see there's a bunch of different racks in this corner of the office. My very first archery big game animal. Very first archery mule deer. And shot it in 2007 with my bow. On a late hunt, extended hunt. Guys, this thing was a big old buck. He is not much for score, but his cape and his body size was big. And I put multiple stocks on him, and finally got him with my bow. Super cool. Shot him late at night, last light. Waited till the next day to retrieve him. He was dead in the next gully, next ditch bottom. This poor thing is pretty beat up, and some of the hair, I think, like right there, some of the hair is starting to fall off. So unfortunately this thing's gonna have to be remounted, which I'm okay with in a way. I'm okay with it because I hate the mount. Kind of sucks that I won't have my original cape, but oh well. The ears are damaged, the mount was poor. This is the first thing I ever got done. Not impressed with the work, so I'll have Monarch Mountain update it, and this thing will look so good and get the love it deserves when it's done. Rifle buck, I think that was the second deer I ever shot. That rack in the corner is my dad's first deer ever. So that was killed so long ago, it's not even funny. It's one of the only racks he ever saved, and it was at his mom's house. And again, when I was a kid, I said, Dad, can I have that? And we took it down, and I have had it ever since. It's one of my most prized possessions, and it always will be. So very special one. That started it all right there. This is my first mule deer. So that's my first and my dad's first next to each other. He's got me beat. Bear skull to that bear. European mounted, all bleached out. A bunch of random burrs that I kept after I sold the rest of them. I really like the burrs. Thought I'd use them on cabinets or something one day. So saved those. My Kansas whitetail buck. This is when we went out with the guys from Stealth Camera. I shot that in like the first 2 hours of the hunt. So dang lucky. They had him on Stealth Cam. I saw him, absolutely loved him. They sent me into that setup, and as soon as it started raining, here he came. Close shot out of a ground blind. But it's so weird when I see him, because I'm like, dude, that's such a cool buck, but sometimes I literally almost forget that I shot that deer because it only happened in 2 hours. I absolutely love the work. Monarch Mountain Taxidermy did the mount. I love having it. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to hunt him. But yeah, sometimes I literally forget about him. First velvet buck ever. This 3-point in velvet. Of course it was hot. He's probably just a week or two away from rubbing. So they were actually cut off, cured, boiled, and put back on. And I think it looks pretty good. It's not exactly the way it was, but it's dang close. and that'll look good on the wall as well. So now it is time to go into the bedroom, and first up, 2016 archery Idaho bull. So still got the tag on it. I'm gonna leave that there. I think that's pretty sweet. A really pretty frame. You know, this bull is one of those bulls where you're like, dang dude, if he had 3 more years, who knows how big he could have been, because even at the age he was, he has a gorgeous frame, but it's an over-the-counter tag, highly pressured unit, and when you see a 6-point come out and you got a bow, you're shooting. Rifle, Pronghorn Antelope. Went out with Casey Harbertson from Mountain Ops. He invited me on a hunt. This is a Utah tag. They got a CWMU permit and they gifted it to me. We went out and made a series on it and put that on the Hush video. Most all of these are on the Hush channel. But I absolutely love this one because I love the contrast in his face and his cape. There was other bucks that may have been bigger antlers or horns. These are horns. But I did not like them. I like this one. So that's the one I shot. All right, we got some sheds up here. There's the set I found with my buddy Rich. Split the set and he gifted me the other side because I found mine first. This is a big set of deer sheds, and then I have his right side from the year after. And then this is also another big old brown shed. That one's from Nevada. This is a very special shed to me. First shed I ever found myself. My dad dropped me off at the canyon up here above Salt Lake. Didn't know exactly what I was doing or where I was going, but I knew there was animals up there, and sure enough, that big old, I shouldn't say big, it's not that big, but that burr was sticking out of a sage bush. When I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. So this, guys, right here is the very first shed antler I have ever found. I'll keep this thing forever, and it's so unique. Look at that cool front claw. So that's a keeper. This was found by Brandon. He found this buck. He found this shed. This is off a buck I hunted in the summer range, and actually hunted him during the rut as well. Never could close the distance, but dang, I was close. And, so when he posted this, offered to buy it from him. I think I spent $100 on it. So super cool having that, and just some random 2-point there. And let's see, we got an Axis cape. This is the second, I should say, this is the back half of my Axis buck from Texas. The other half is used for the mount. All right, now we're gonna go outside and show you some of the stuff I have stashed away. A little secret stash I've never really showed anybody out here because it's been out in my shed. And of course, you don't want anybody to steal your shed antlers. So I never really said they're out here, but since I'm moving, I'll show you guys. So I know I shared this on my channel when I kind of remodeled this old garage here at this rental house. By the way, if you didn't know, I've been renting this place for years. So this was, you know, just kind of dirty and dusty, and I just wanted to clean it up. So painted the walls, put some carpet in, new garage door, new door and everything, and kind of just did it because I needed the space. Even though I rent this place, I did invest some money to have more space for myself because I needed it. So let's go through and show you the secret stash that I never showed anybody, which is basically lots of antlers in this shed. So the shed stack, you guys who have watched my channel, you've probably seen most of these, but these are what you call the keeper pile. You can just see by the size of some of these burrs that these aren't going nowhere. This is the stuff I'll never let go. The majority of this stuff is stuff I picked up over the years, looking back to some of the best days, you know, what we call the glory days here in Utah when the elk numbers were up and the age class was way up. That's my keeper stack of deer sheds, kind of mixing with some random stuff. But yeah, that has got to go today. We got some more over here. Some bucks mounted on skulls, some skull plates, dead heads I found, bucks I've shot, and another stack of keepers. Some of the best ones I have are in this stack. And then firebull replicas on a skull plate. Firebull replica, what would you call that? That's like the actual molding, the fiberglass molding that they did. So I have that still just in case. Don't plan to make any more at this time, but I kept it just because this is what is expensive and this is what's time consuming to build. So I did keep it. Got the locked deadhead mule deer bucks. Pretty excited to have somewhere much better than the garage to put those in. big deadhead bull elk I found and got recovered from the Division of Wildlife. This is my New Mexico bull that I just shot with Jordan from Mountain Ops and Shed Crazy. This is going to be on the movie. By the way, guys, anybody in Portland, we're having a Mountain Ops movie night. There's still tickets available. We're having one in Utah, but the tickets are already sold out. So let's close this up and get out of here. Moving into the tarp garage. Got the goods in here, the quads, some more racks. Oh boy. Some deadheads. These are 2 bucks I've shot. This was on our shed, my grandpa's shed for years. That's one of my Utah rifle bull elk. Unfortunately, the person I had who did the skull work busted up the nose and really just ruined it. So that's no good. Some more racks from my collection as a youngster. Just some bucks that have either been gifted to me or I think a couple of them I shot. And again, it's so funny. I've had people gift me the bucks they've shot. And ever since I was a kid, I would literally go knock on doors if I saw like someone's deer in their front yard or a deer rack on the side of their house. I'd be like, hey, I collect antlers, can I have that? And a couple times people gifted me the racks that they even shot. So guys, I've been in love, addicted, and fascinated with antlers my entire adult life and into my childhood, and I still to this day think they are the coolest thing ever. I love to shed hunt. If I had to choose shed hunting or hunting, I would choose to shed hunt. I love the meat for hunting, but man, I just love hiking. I love finding sheds. I think they're just the coolest thing out there. So obviously we couldn't go individually and show you every single antler I have, but maybe when I get more space we can walk through and show you some of those. But I thought it'd be fun to do a taxidermy tour of this place. It's gonna take me some time to build it up how I want to at the new home. So videos coming soon, I look forward to on this channel are moving videos, a new house tour video, and just show you the whole place, guys. There's so many cool things to show you about the house. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And again, try to get back on these vlogs, get them up more often, and get that last Hawaii vlog up. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the taxidermy tour. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys on the next vlog. Okay, see you later.